Ready?
Sure.
Okay. Hey there. Welcome to another episode of Mike's Collection. I'm Mike, and I've actually got some guests this week. These are my good buddies, Trevor, Miguel, and we're going to talk about some shit. So let's talk about some shit.
All right.
Plus, we're drunk, so that's...
Yeah, we've been drinking.
That's different from...
Cheers!
Most episodes, I shoot these on like a Sunday morning.
Happy coronavirus.
But yeah, this is like a Saturday night, and we're all like...
Quarantine?
Trapped inside, quarantined from the coronavirus. So, and I'll preface this by saying these guys are not toy nerds. These guys don't really give a shit about any of the stuff we're about to talk about.
True.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, let's start with... So I brought my newest toys. I'll get your guys' take on them.
All right.
Since you guys...
Let's do it.
So I have some Funko Pops here.
Right on.
So in the past week, I've got some new Umbrella Academy figures from Funko Pops. So I got both Ben and Allison, also known as the Horror and the Rumor. I'll probably cut away. Tomorrow I'll have to cut some close-up footage of this thing. Okay, so it's the next day and I'm hungover, but here is my Umbrella Academy collection so far. So I'm just missing one of the members of the Umbrella Academy. But have you watched the Umbrella Academy?
I have, and actually...
Oh. I didn't know he was going to do that.
This is completely unexpected.
He has the Umbrella Academy graphic novel tucked into his coffee table here. That's pretty cool. Have you...
I've simply just seen the series.
You haven't read the
I
comic?
have not read the comics or the graphic novel.
There we go. Yeah, he's kind of in the foreground.
What was his... He can reach into parallel dimensions?
I don't...
Or...
My vainness, I'm going to put him over here.
I felt like that was his thing, that he could reach into like parallel dimensions and bring out different kind of more probable events, but I'm completely making that shit up probably, so I don't know.
I think he just has tentacles. I like his
That's a cool...
I like his translucent tentacles and stuff.
Yep,
They're kind of cool.
I'm into him.
And I like when they do specific characters. Like, they don't just have a character and then put paint. They make specific like accessories for them, like the tentacles.
With the tentacles,
Yeah, like he's pretty unique looking among my Funko Pop collection. I saw her a while ago and I passed on her. It's because I don't feel she's that distinct on her own. Like, what do you guys think? Like, she just kind of looks like a chick with an umbrella.
Like I said, I don't. If without the umbrella, I wouldn't know who this person is.
Even with the
You can
umbrella.
pop her down
Even with the umbrella
box, and she'll be closer
Well,
to the camera. But
yeah, I'll pop her down here.
right,
And that's what I mean when I like when they try and make extra accessories to try to identify characters. Like, if this guy was just all blue, like, you'd still be like...
who is that?
Yeah.
But in their defense, like, he has a feature they can, accentuate to say this is him.
Yeah.
She doesn't have anything. Her superpower is that she whispers in your ear, I heard a rumor that you do this, do that,
Yeah,
and
then
that
you do it.
controls you. She has no costume. She has no definable power or distinguishing characteristic. It's pretty impossible to make her, like, immediately recognizable. She's not like Batman or Superman that has a logo. She's just some chick. And it's not like she even walked around with an umbrella in the series, but they gave her an umbrella, I think, as like a last-ditch attempt to be like, look, it's her from the Umbrella Academy.
Just to tie her to this series of Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Like, you could say, this is Black Canary from the Birds of Prey movie.
You could say that's
and
Black
be
Canary.
like, yeah, that's her. Because they will look exactly the same.
But at the same time, like, if you're going to make this character in a Funko Pop, like, what more could you do? Like, she looks like the character from the show.
True.
It's not immediately distinguishable to people that don't know the show.
Have some drinks.
So here's another Funko Pop I got.
before we continue,
Okay.
Citro has a shot of some. I don't know what it is.
Mezcal, if we're being
All right, do
He
it.
should just do it because it's distracting me. There. Good job.
that was Miguel's like $200 mezcal that I just took
Was it?
as a shot.
Yeah.
The expensive shit. All right.
It was absolutely delicious.
Was it?
It actually was really good.
All right, maybe we should all do a shot of that.
Sure.
Expensive
It
shit.
was quite floral in the back of my throat. We'll do an episode about alcohol next.
Yeah. All right. Forget toys. We'll
Yeah.
start doing just alcoholic podcasts. So this here is a He-Man Funko Pop. I just got this literally today. We're shooting this on Saturday. So I picked this up this afternoon. So there you see him.
What's it called? Slime
So it
Pit.
says He-Man Slime Pit. Now this is something that has been around since the vintage He-Man days. And I'll be honest, I don't have like a super clear recollection of this because I haven't gone back and watched most of the vintage He-Man cartoons since back in the day. But like I do remember the Slime Pit was like kind of a place that you could buy, which was like this big kind of skull-faced thing, and it came with like a jar of slime, kind of like Ghostbuster figures used to come with, and you would pour the slime through this like skull, and it would drip down onto the hero. And I remember that, and there was an episode of the cartoon where the slime came through, dripped down on He-Man, and he turned green and possessed, and he became Slime Pit He-Man. He became like a bad guy until they washed the slime off of him. And they never made a figure of him in the vintage toy line, but Mattel did make a figure in the Masters of the Universe Classics line a couple of years ago. And but he was a convention exclusive, so you had to like order him in advance. He was very expensive. This thing cost you probably $75 to get the classic, and I didn't buy him because he's neat. He was translucent green and stuff, but he's still just a variation of He-Man. I already had a couple He-Man, and then Funko that does the Funko Pop. They also do the reaction figures.
Yeah.
They did a translucent green version of He-Man in their reaction figure line, but I didn't buy that. But seeing him here in the Funko version, I thought he was pretty cool. I think he's a unique sculpt. Like, I have the He-Man Funko Pop, but I don't think this is just like a green version of that. I think they actually did sculpt new pieces.
I like the sword.
Yeah, like the whole thing is translucent green. I think it looks pretty good. I almost think it looks better than the translucent green Masters of the Universe Classics.
Can we try and shine a light through him?
Sure.
I think it'll look
Please do.
cool.
Because I think the thing with the Classics figure, his head was... Yeah, look, he looks pretty cool. Yeah, it looks good.
Pretty cool.
This guy's head is so much thicker and wider because he's a Funko Pop and they have bigger heads naturally. But when they did this in the Classics version, and he had a head that was proportionate, his hair was like a painted piece, so his head was so much darker than his body because the painted hair on the back, the light didn't shine through it as well. I actually think this look works better as a Funko Pop. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
And he does look like slime. Like, when you look at it, he doesn't look like just like paint. He looks...
I think that the
slimy.
the translucent look really works for me.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this character or this specific scene.
Yeah.
But I'm into the Funko Pop version of whatever this is trying to convey because I think it looks pretty cool.
I like the transition. Like the translucentness, whatever it's called.
Right. Yeah, like his belt, his cuffs.
I was gonna say it's the
translucent.
thickness of the mold from there to there, so it looks more translucent as fingers than his head because there's more material in the head than the fingers. But when we shined the light behind it, I thought it looked pretty cool.
So here's your Sunday morning close-up of Slime Pit He-Man. And I did not expect to find this thing. I didn't even know it was coming out. But I bought this. So this is a Stormtrooper. And he is described as Stormtrooper Commander. So it says, Star Wars The Force Unleashed follows Darth Vader's secret apprentice, trained to hunt down and destroy Jedi, while Stormtrooper commanders lead Imperial troops into battle. So it's from the game, I think, The Force Unleashed. There we go. He's open now. This is, I assume, the exact same figure I've bought probably 10 times already.
Just with different paint colors?
With different paint colors. He doesn't have... It's not like they have a blue and a green and a yellow, but they do find different ways. Like, there's the standard Stormtrooper. Then I bought, like, the Luke Skywalker Stormtrooper. So it's the same figure, except the helmet comes off and there's a Luke Skywalker head. Same as I bought the Han Solo one. I bought the Finn one. I bought the new version, the sequel trilogy version of Stormtrooper, the Snow Trooper, the Biker Scout. At a glance, is probably the exact same figure as the standard original trilogy Stormtrooper, just with the blue paint apps. And again, I'll insert. And here's your Sunday close-up of the Stormtrooper Commander.
It looks pretty cool, though.
I was going to say, I haven't seen or held, to be honest, like a articulated action figure.
Well, play with them.
I was going to ask.
In a long time. And when I was watching you kind of try and pose this fella, I was like, you know what? They're fairly posable.
They are.
He's got a lot of points of articulation.
Yeah.
And posability. And I thought, you know what? I haven't touched an action figure in a long time. He's pretty cool.
He's fun.
He's pretty cool. He can do a lot of different kind of moves and poses.
Can you imagine being a kid, like a 8-year-old, and getting this quality figure?
No.
Oh, no, not at all. It just wouldn't happen. I was playing with my son and his action figure collection today. And we have Snuffleupagus and Cookie Monster on a skateboard, and Cookie Monster not on a skateboard.
I love how
they're not posable
the
at all.
articulation of his helmet.
Yeah, different.
Yeah.
You can move it different ways, just like a real head.
He's got a ball jointed head that you can roll all kinds of ways.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Ball jointed. Yeah. But all that,
I thought it was really cool.
I don't think he's got. Maybe he does double jointed knees, but in the old days, there was one joint so you could bend the knee from straight to this. But now there's double jointed so you can fold it so you can really curve their knees, curve their elbows. They have a pretty...
it seems like he has double jointed elbows to me. But
I like the paint detail, how it looks like it's
weathered.
But battle damage, has scratches.
His ass is all scuffed up.
And there's dirt in there.
Like your mama's.
Or poop or whatever it is. But
He's
this
got
detail
a
right here, in the
What's
forearm.
What's that for? His sidearm gun? Does that fit in there?
Well, yeah, he has a holster. Most of the Stormtrooper figures do. You showing that on camera?
Get in there.
Everybody's confused what's happening. But yeah.
Doesn't quite fit in there.
So the pistol, I think that's a pretty standard pistol.
You can fit the...
Get them up close. So yeah, the pistol fits in the holster on the side, so that's great.
But the detail on the paint...
Yeah, he's got some weathering. He looks like it lived in.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
I'm just a sucker for Stormtrooper variations. I like this look, the blue.
All right, I'm gonna get some old Stormtroopers, get some fucking green paint, and I'm gonna sell them to you for $30, Mike.
You won't do as good a job as Hasbro does. So yeah, there he is. Again, I'll add some cut-in shots here, but he's pretty cool.
We're not good enough.
Yeah, it's I can do better than Hasbro.
There you go.
I think so.
You can't. You cannot do better than Hasbro.
Nah, we'll see.
Look at this. The Force.
That's magic.
Yeah, the Force, the coaster's magic. Alright, so...
Genius.
Mm-hmm.
What a gag for the show.
Yeah.
Special effects.
Yeah. There was
that was CGI.
$10,000 budget. Alright, so the last thing I brought for you guys to comment on is, so again, I just bought this today. And
didn't I ask you earlier? Did you went shopping today and you were like, no.
I think you wasted a lot of money today.
I did waste a lot of money today. I wasted a lot of money.
Not wasted, but you spent some money today.
Didn't I ask him, is that your shopping from today? And he's like, no.
No, it's just for my show.
But I saved money today. So this
Still,
So-
use bought.
now, so this 2-pack here. So let me get it up close here.
What a deal, a 2-pack.
Yeah, it's 2-pack. So this is Ant-Man and Stinger. Here's a closer look at Ant-Man and Stinger. The thing is, this set, like anybody that collects Marvel Legends knows, this set's been out for like 2 years, so it's not all that interesting. So this came out. It's been at Toys R Us. It might be it's a Toys R Us exclusive, as clarified by the sticker here. Toys R Us exclusive. And so they got a bunch of these at Toys R Us. I think they were expecting them to fly off the shelves. They did not.
What a surprise.
Yeah, because like a regular Marvel Legend costs like $30. So you'd expect. You're forced me to buy 2 at once. Maybe this should be $50.
Yeah.
Like the cost of 2 plus a discount. But for whatever reason, they tend to put these things out and they'll say, like $70 or something. You're like, what am I paying for? Why am I paying you an additional $10 to get a figure that I might not have wanted as much as the other one? And it always boggles my mind. So I figure with these things here, it's not like these are super popular characters. I figure I can wait this out. This thing has been on sale for a year now. Like, every time I go to Toys R Us, they have a ton of these boxes. And it says down from 65, down to like 59, down to 49, down to 39. It's been like marked down multiple times. And I've continually resisted. I'm like, they have 50 of them on the shelf. I'm like, I'm going to wait. I bet this thing is going to go cheaper and cheaper. And I went today.
Tell me the deal, Mike.
All right. It was like $28.
Pretty good.
Considering
From 70.
one figure is $29.99.
Deal.
So this was
Like
less.
60%.
I
love it.
It was the less of the cost of one figure. So one of the figures in there is Ant-Man, and I already have a Giant Man figure.
Movie version?
No, a comic book version. But if you guys have seen the movies,
It's very similar.
you know Ant-Man is Giant Man.
Yeah.
When he shrinks, he's Ant-Man. When he grows, he's Giant Man.
Makes
But he actually did have different costumes. So when he was shrunk, he had this kind of glass helmet on, which is Ant-Man. But when he grew, he Giant Man. He had this red spandex suit on. So the Giant Man costume, I have a figure of him as Giant Man in the red spandex costume. But as Ant-Man, the only Ant-Man figure I have is the movie version, which has Paul Rudd's face on it and everything, which I think is still great. But I didn't have a comic book version of Ant-Man. And I think this is a really nice version of Ant-Man. I'll open them up here in a second. But like, I think the way the helmet looks really good.
It does.
It looks better than how he looked in the comic books most of the time. He
Yeah.
kind of had this glass helmet or something. Like, this looks really cool. I love the expression on his face. He's kind of smirking. Yeah, I just think this is a great Ant-Man figure. I like having the movie version. But as a comic book fan, I prefer comic book versions, and I really wanted a nice comic book version of Ant-Man separate from Giant Man.
Tell me about the Stinger. I'm not familiar with the character. Is she like the Wasp? Or is she a villain?
Well, so you see Stinger here, so that's the other thing. I feel this is probably why this set didn't sell very well, and that nobody knows who Stinger is. If it had been... Look...
Oh, the wings are
You gotta get that. But so if it had been Ant-Man and the Wasp, people would probably like buy that a little sooner. That's probably gonna be really noisy on the mic, so I feel I should wait for you to do all that.
There's one.
All right, so here's Ant-Man. Let's get Ant-Man up close here. And again, I'll do a little cutaway so you can see him in detail. Yeah, so there's Ant-Man. All right, come on. Cut. We'll edit.
Delay. The lady's head fell off.
What?
I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
Man, Trevor's fucking her all up over here. And we're back. All right, so here's Stinger. So you can see here she's got these cool translucent wings. She's got a helmet similar to Ant-Man. And she's got this kind of like purple costume on here. So the thing I like about...
She's got a nice butt, too.
Yeah, she's got a nice butt. Like, yeah,
Is it fair?
I didn't really notice it before, but that is a... But so what's cool about her is
I like the folding wings.
I like the wings. It's cool that they pop out and they fold back pretty easily. As far as like articulation goes and everything, she looks pretty standard for Marvel Legends. She's got lots of good articulation. She's got the double jointed knee, so you can see she's got a lot of articulation on the knee there.
Very cool.
Yeah, so she's got a lot of posability there. And she's got a cool costume design. Like, I like it. I actually, as much as people might expect the Ant-Man to come with the Wasp, I've never been a fan of like any of the Wasp's costumes.
I was going to say, I like how vibrant her or like the colors of this costume. It's not like just the black and gray or metallic colors that they usually use for like comic book characters in movies, like the X-Men. Like they're all like black and leathery or whatever. That one looks like a super costume.
Yeah. And so, Wasp, Trevor, you can get in here. You're following this frame here. So there was they always do these short-lived alternate realities. Like I know you know less about it than you do, but like, you know, you're familiar with Marvel 2099, like when they did like the future.
Hulk.
They started with Spider-Man 2099, and they did Hulk and Ghost Rider and X-Men 2099.
Yep.
And then they kind of get rid. Then they did Ultimate Universe. You know, they had Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate X-Men, and there was like an alternate version of the characters you know. So one of the alternate universes that Marvel tried when they're trying to get new audiences is they called it MC2. And that was kind of like a 2.0 version of the Marvel Universe. It was supposedly tied to the regular Marvel Universe, but jumped ahead in the future. So, in the regular Spider-Man comic books, at one point, Spider-Man and Mary Jane were having a baby, and it seemed like, oh, okay, Spider-Man's going to have a kid. But then in the comic book, it turned out that the kid died in childbirth, and they never happened. You know, pretty heavy stuff for a comic book.
Pretty dark, yeah.
Yeah, pretty dark stuff. But then they did this comic book called Spider-Girl, which was set in the 20 years in the future or so, 15 years in the future. And it was an alternate reality. And in that reality, the child never died. And they had a daughter named May Parker, named after Aunt May, who is deceased now. And so Peter and Mary Jane had this kid, May Parker. She went on, she inherited Peter Parker's Spider-Man powers, and she became Spider-Girl. And she fought all these alternate versions of like Spider-Man's classic villains. So there was like a new Vulture. Some of the characters that she fought were like the same villains Peter Parker would have fought, but they were older and more grown up and stuff. And I really liked the Spider-Girl comic books. I liked this alternate reality. And there was a new Avengers in the future. And Stinger was the daughter of Ant-Man, and she was a member of the future Avengers. And yeah, I really like the look of her. She's kind of a combination of Wasp and Ant-Man.
Right.
Because I think that she was the daughter of Ant-Man and the Wasp. So that's why she kind of encompassed both of them. But the MC2 universe was relatively short-lived in the grand scheme of things. It was kind of a blip on the radar. They've kind of disavowed it now. They've moved on to other things.
Good production value.
I really like the colors. Like, almost feels like something out of like Masters of the Universe. Like how vibrant the colors are in like the design of the helmet. Like
yeah, I can see that. And yeah, I think this is a great figure.
You should probably tell them again that we don't know shit about comic books or
it's a buy from me, guys.
Yeah.
It's a strong buy.
They're probably like, shut the fuck up, guys. You guys don't know shit.
Well, that's what I'm going to get a chance. So now we've talked about this is my new toys. I don't know how much of this we'll edit all this shit or whatever, but
I hope you don't edit a single
just post it, just like
yeah. There's going to be the solid runtime, no edits whatsoever.
Yeah.
So let's get to know you guys. I probably should have done this before. We talked, and maybe in the edit this will come before.
I hope it doesn't.
Yeah. So Trevor, Miguel.
I don't actually have an accent. I just have a speech impediment.
Most of my audience is from the U.S. That's where most of my viewers come from.
Uh-oh.
Mexicans.
I'm one of the good ones.
Mexicans aren't as bad as your president is making them out to be. They're pretty good. Pretty good.
And Canadians are incredible, regardless.
Yeah, we're good. We're good too.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get into some general topics, you guys, should we fill our drinks up? You guys are both empty.
Yeah.
I'm empty.
We're the pussies like you.
All right.
Pause.
All right. Pause. Cut. We're gonna come back when we get some full drinks.
I'm going to talk about Marble Works and Hot Wheels.
Perfect.
Those are
I
my
gotta talk
toys.
about Couch Kids.
And we're back.
Pokemon cards.
All right. So now that we've reviewed my, thanks. And we're back. So now that we've reviewed my latest purchases and talked about those, just so you guys know who these guys are, let's talk a little bit about your your toy history. So everybody knows I'm a child of the '80s. I grew up on G.I. Joe, Transformers, He-Man, all that good stuff. Miguel, Trevor, you guys are both younger than me. What's your action figure experience?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Those were like the best toy when I was growing up. But I also collected Thundercats, Silverhawks, and a little bit of Master of the Universe.
All right.
Mighty Max. If you remember those ones.
I remember
Like
my younger
version
brother.
of Polly Pockets or whatever.
My younger brother collected Mighty Max. I collected the Star Wars versions of them, where you had like an R2-D2 that opened up and it was like Jabba's palace, and you had all the little aliens and stuff. I liked those, but you couldn't really play with them. I found.
No, it was just like you open them and like
You saw all the little
you have like a
stuff,
little piece and
Yeah,
like you
it looked neat,
yeah.
but like you couldn't legit spend an afternoon like playing with them.
No.
No, you couldn't.
No, you could not.
And
So, all right, turtles. So, how many did you have? A big
I had a
turtle
lot.
collection?
I had a lot of turtles. Yeah, that was like, I don't think it's very popular here, but Saint Seiya. It's like an anime. It's like Knights of the Zodiac.
Mm-mm.
It's like a Japanese anime. Like
So you grew up in Mexico,
yeah,
and any of my regular viewers that have watched all my episodes have probably seen a couple of the figures you've bought me in the past. 'Cause
Hulko.
I've shown a couple of the like Mexican bootlegs that you've brought me back over the past, and there's some pretty great figures.
And I'm hoping to bring you more in a couple of weeks.
I hope so.
If
Yep.
my flight doesn't get canceled due to this coronavirus shit
Yeah,
going on.
he's going to Mexico in a couple weeks, but the coronavirus is happening right now, so who knows what the fuck is going to happen.
But if I end up going, I'll bring you some toys.
Sweet.
I am not going to Mexico in a few weeks.
No, but Trevor. So how old are you, Trevor?
I'm 32.
All right.
I
So
grew,
like 10 years difference between you and I.
yep. I grew up on the West Coast in Vancouver,
Mm-hmm.
and we did not have any television growing up.
Yeah.
I had
What?
Yeah, the three channels you get for free.
Where's
Whatever
Mexico?
those are. CBC, CTV, and I think in Vancouver at the time it was either Global News or UTV. I can't remember.
Okay.
Regardless, we did not have cable, so we did not have cartoons.
That sucks.
And we would go to our cottage property in the States every weekend. So there was no Saturday morning cartoons either. We had NES about 20 years after NES was released when I was, so say it was 97.
So what toys did you play with?
Yeah, I played with Hot Wheels and blocks and Lego, and Marble Works was probably my favorite toys. I don't know who on your channel is playing with Marble Works, but
He sounds like he was from Perestroika, the old Soviet Union or whatever.
that's basically what my family life was like. And I mean, we had very minor amounts of exposure to comics, probably zero exposure to comics,
Okay,
but
well, what about,
some
like-
exposure to TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja
So
Turtles.
my
and
channel is mostly devoted to action figures, not so much toys.
I had zero.
You had no action figures.
Like
Like G.I. Joe, He-Man,
None.
Transformers, that was all.
Like 0. Transformers, probably. I feel like maybe in the mid 90s, McDonald's maybe had Transformers as Happy Meal toys.
Yeah,
I feel like I might have a few of those from a child.
I have a Happy Meal story from literally just today. So, me and my brother Doug, I've talked about him on the channel before. He kind of collects toys too. So, me and him decided to go on a run today. We went to Toys R Us and we went to Walmart. We were looking for new Transformers and stuff. And when we were in the Walmart, there's a McDonald's in there, and they're selling Mr. Men figures with their Happy Meal. Do you guys know Mr. Man?
Nope.
No.
Really? It's a series of books, and they have like little cartoon characters that are like circles and ovals and squares. It's like
it's like Little Miss Angry and Little Miss
Mr.
Frustrated.
Strong, Mr. Fussy.
I know those ones, but I don't know like the
Mr. Tickle, Mr. Bump, and they have Little Miss Chatterbox, Little Miss
Sunshine, and all this.
All those things.
Okay.
So I saw that they were selling Mr. Man figures in their Happy Meals. And I think on the ad I had seen on Facebook, it showed like 8 figures. And one of them happened to be Mr. Strong, who's a red square with a little green hat. And he happened to be my favorite because I loved the Mr. Men as a kid. But Mr. Strong was the one book I owned. I got it in my stocking one year. And so Mr. Strong is the character I have the most association with. Which is funny because my brother Doug got Mr. Fussy in his stocking. And
should have been switched, probably.
I think Santa, my parents, always intended for Mr. Fussy to be in my stocking because I'm very fussy.
Quite.
And Doug was supposed to get Mr. Strong. Not that he's particularly strong. But that I think Fussy was intended for me. Anyway, I had Mr. Strong. And so I always had an attachment for Mr. Strong. So when I saw the ad that on Facebook that McDonald's had these Mr. Men figures, one of the 8 figures they had was Mr. Strong. And I was like, I kind of have to go to McDonald's and get a Mr. Strong figure. They have all 60 figures available.
60?
60.
No.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
every McDonald's?
Well, they had a poster up and said 60 figures available. I was like, oh shit, that's
a lot of figures.
I know.
How many Happy Meals do you need to buy?
Yeah, 30, I guess. So I went up and
You get 2 toys per Happy Meal?
Well, that's the thing. You get 2, not normally, but in these Mr. Men, you get 2 in a bag.
Oh,
I didn't know that at the time, but I went up to the counter and I was. By the way, this is during the coronavirus, so Walmart was a shit show. The McDonald's was also a shit show. There's this big lineup, and
people got to stock up. I mean, you got to get your trans fats in while you can.
Yeah, so I get to the front of the line, and I'm sure everybody's like, "Come on, buy your hamburger and get out of the way." And I was like, "Excuse me, like, can you choose which of the 8 figures you get?" And the kid behind the counter was like, "Well, there's 60 figures." I was like, "There's 60 of them?" And I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Can I get Mr. Strong and maybe Mr. Bump?" And he was like, "What?"
He's like,
who
are those people?
He's like, "I'll see what I got." And I got Mr. Busy and Mrs. Chatterbox. I'm hoping to get
good choices.
I'll go to McDonald's tomorrow, specifically just to try to find Mr. Strong for me.
Get me a Mr. Strong if you can.
Samesies.
You guys.
I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but I'll say I'll do it for your channel.
I want that Mr. Strong. So here you see Little Miss Chatterbox and Mr. Busy. And Vanessa actually went to McDonald's for me again today, and she got Mr. Cheerful and Mr. Small. So the hunt continues for Mr. Strong.
I did a coworker a few weeks ago to go to McDonald's and tell them I had never had a French fry in my life before. Can I try a French fry?
You dared them to do this? Okay.
And they were like, sure. Here's a really fresh one.
And they brought them a single French fry in their fingers? In their hands?
Yes.
Those people are dying next week from coronavirus.
That's weird. That's weird.
But they did. So I feel like they will let
With their bare hands, they picked up a French fry and brought it over?
Yes. And I feel like they will let... If they did
That's
that,
gross.
They will
Bring you some
I wouldn't
tongs.
believe that
Come
guy
on.
if he said he never had a French fry. That's weird. Like,
no, I dare a coworker to tell them, like, hey, I never tried a French fry. Can you let me have a French fry? And they're like, sure.
What countries don't have French fries?
McDonald's French fries even. Every country has McDonald's French fries.
That's why I dared them to do it, because it was stupid.
It was stupid.
Go for it.
Mr. Bump and Mr. Tickle. I was like, those three are...
That sounds like perverts to me.
Those are three of the best Mr. Men right
This is
there.
not making you.
It is.
It's in the
No.
it's in the movie.
Everybody capped out at 3 minutes anyway. This is nobody's watching this stuff. But like, so those are three of the best Mr. Men: Strong, Tickle, Bump.
How
And
this conversation even started?
I don't know. We're talking about stuff.
McDonald's.
All right.
It went from Marble Works, which I wasn't ready to talk about for hours, because Marble Works was the best fucking Marble Works.
What are we talking about? Marble Works?
It's like you create a course for marbles, like you know what marbles are,
Yeah.
and then you race them against each other, and they go over jumps and spins and funnels, and you know, like Rube Goldberg machines. You know what those are? Oh,
Rube-
God.
Is this
We're
real-
on the wrong channel.
Is
I'm
this
gonna start
real
my
life?
own channel
Rube
about
Goldberg?
Marble Works.
What's a Rube Goldberg machine?
Oh my god! Google it after this episode.
Rube Goldberg.
Rube Goldberg.
Sounds like a designer.
Yep.
That's
We'll find out.
That's stupid.
We'll know who's the, intelligent
I'm
one.
pretty sure you say you had 0 toys.
Yeah.
And you lived.
I said I didn't watch any cartoons or didn't have any toys from cartoons, but I had Hot Wheels and Marble Works and Lego.
Okay. What kind of Lego did you like?
Generic.
City.
5 color
Yellow blocks.
Lego.
You didn't have space Lego. Like I always had.
I mean, we had some sets here and there, but typically we just had the generic Lego.
I had night Lego,
Do you guys have,
medieval castles and
do
stuff.
you guys have Playmobiles?
Yeah. Oh, I had a lot of Playmobil.
They're stupid.
Were you like?
I had the gas station, the airport, the ambulances, and the fire truck. I had a lot of Playmobil, actually.
Why was their hair removable?
Why wouldn't it
Sometimes
be?
you want bald Playmobil.
But then you will lose that little piece, and then it's gone forever.
But the hats could also go on everybody then.
Yeah, I would think. It's like a Lego guy. Their hair could come
Yeah.
off. You could put a helmet on them.
Yeah. It was so that you could put the hats
I
on.
had a bunch of
It
like
was just a
ballless-
slightly larger version of Lego. Like, I mean...
But Playmobil was kind of stupid. Like they still try and sell it now.
Disagree. Playmobil is amazing.
Eh.
Agree to disagree. I'm not the target market for this.
I used to have micro
Yeah.
machines too.
Ooh, I
I-
did like Micro Machines.
I had like 2 of them. I had a dump
I
truck
had
and a
a
race car.
significant portion of Micro Machines.
Those
A
were
lot
cool.
of little dump trucks and excavators and a lot of monster trucks that were Micro Machines. Because, you know what? They fit on the Hot Wheels tracks.
Yeah.
Yep. And you could run them from like your bookcase from like 6 feet high and make them do like loop-de-loops and jumps and
All
shit.
right. So
It's
just
amazing.
So the kind of shit I'm into.
Is not the kind of shit I'm
No.
into.
Well, you're 10 years. You're a punk kid.
And I was a loser.
Yeah. You're a loser punk
Without
kid.
action figures.
I'm sure this. I don't know what they were called.
Marble work.
Miguel, so who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Michelangelo,
Because he was a party dude.
of course. Kawabunga.
Favorite turtle?
What's the guy with the fucking blades?
Leonardo or Raphael?
The shorter ones.
Raphael.
Raphael.
Yeah, Raphael.
Yeah. He was cool but rude.
But yeah, just like me.
Favorite Marvel superhero?
Spider-Man. Actually, Venom.
Oh.
Whoa.
I like the look of Venom. I like
Yeah.
Spider-Man's personality better.
How'd you like the Venom movie?
It sucked.
Favorite superhero?
I'd probably say Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say... You asked him favorite Marvel
all right.
superhero, and you asked me favorite superhero overall.
You know less.
I do. I'd say Spider-Man.
More than Batman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite DC superhero?
Batman.
I kind of like the Green Lantern. But okay.
No comment.
Favorite Star Wars character?
Recently, I like the Mandalorian.
Alright.
Mando. Or, what's his name? Jin. Or whatever.
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Favorite Star Wars character?
I would probably say... I'm Princess Leia. Obviously.
Fag.
Obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
Ah.
I mean, Chewbacca. Let's be serious.
All right, I like Walrus Man. Favorite G.I. Joe?
I don't remember his name, but I used to have this figure. He was like a samurai. It was like blue.
Budo.
Sure.
No, he's blue?
Blue and white.
Did he change color in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bushido.
Bushido. I'm gonna Google him.
Bushido. He's a horrible character, but for him to be your favorite G.I. Joe, Bushido sucks ass. Anyway,
I have 0 favorite G.I. Joes. I'm not familiar with the...
I didn't have a lot of G.I. Joes. Yeah, this guy.
yeah, Bushido.
I like the toy. I didn't know he's like...
He's
an asshole.
He's stupid. Yeah, he's fucking stupid. Yeah.
I don't know if you can
Yeah,
see.
you can't.
Mike
see that.
will...
There we go.
zoom
I'll
in the
insert
picture.
it.
Yeah.
That Bushido's not so bad. That's the modern version of him. But yeah, the one you like sucks. Favorite? Did I ask your favorite Transformer? Did we say that?
Favorite Transformer?
Video's probably gonna cut out.
I don't know. I didn't really like grow up with Transformers.
We'll say Bumblebee. Who's your favorite Transformer?
Definitely not Bumblebee. But I don't have a favorite. I would...
What was the planet?
Optimus Prime.
Cybertron?
Cybertron, yeah.
That's
The
your...
whole...
No, like what was the planet in Transformer? Like
Oh, Unicron?
Unicron, yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
Sure.
Sure. Not Bumblebee.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Bumblebee was around really when I was growing up. But
Yeah, he was always friend.
I know, but he wasn't like in the movies. Like
He was a Volkswagen. He was always
not
kind of
like-
one of the main Transformers, but he was never my favorite.
I like Voltron better than Transformers.
Yeah, Voltron's cool.
But like Transformers, like toys, like I had the one I can't remember. I don't know what it's called, but it was green. It was like a bunch of like construction, like
The Constructicons, Devastator.
yeah, it was there, yeah.
Yeah.
Devastator's cool.
Mostly I had what are the animals that transformed?
Well, they're
Beast
Beast
Wars?
Wars.
Beast Wars, probably.
Rat Attack.
Over than Rat-a-tat was from
Ratatouille?
Pokemon.
Right, whatever it's called.
I mostly had those over
He was Rat Trap.
everything
Rat
that was off-brand from main brands is what I grew up with.
Thundercats. I don't know. That's something I grew up on. I don't collect any toys, but I love the Thundercats growing up, and I still like think they're like pretty cool. Like the art, I think it's unique. And when you told me you pre-order, and then you told me like there's a new Mamra coming out or whatever,
Yeah.
I looked them up, and I'm like, fuck, I don't collect toys, but I.
But
feel
you
like
wanted Decrepit Mumra. You like him better than Buff Mumra.
I like them both, but I like the Decrepit Mamra better.
Do you know Mumra at all?
No.
So he's this like little decrepit, like almost Yoda.
How
looking-
long is this fucking video?
Well, I'll edit it. Well, he was so we cut off at like 35 minutes. We're at 38 minutes now. We're like, it's an hour episode.
He just feels like his wife has to watch the whole video now.
No, she's not going to watch even a second of it.
No,
Mumra, okay.
Mumra. He was a mummy. I'll put a picture of him up over you again.
Yeah.
Here he is as a mummy, and then here he is as a buff guy,
Okay.
and he was both.
Are we
And
talking like the mummy?
sort of, he had like a red cloak on. He had like a cane. He was like, I'm a mummy, and then he got super strong and
jacked.
buff. But it's like he had to say a poem or something to
Like spell, or
a
like
spell to turn buff. And so when the first wave of new Thundercats figures came out, and he was like, "Oh man, I really want that Mumra," and I was like, "I hear ya. I kind of like, decrepit Mumra, but I'm like, I feel they're gonna make buff Mumra, and I'd rather have him." And sure enough, Wave 2 came out. Buff Mumra came out. I ordered him instead. I would like both, but they're like $50 US a piece, which is like
$70 Canadian.
$70 Canadian plus shipping. Like one 6-inch figure is going to
Yeah.
cost me like $80 or something. It's just, I have to be a little choosy. So I went with Buff Mumra instead of Mummy Mumra.
But they're pretty cool. Same with Lionel.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're gonna collect any Thundercats, you gotta have Lionel.
You gotta have Lionel. I ordered Lionel. We're back. Video just cut off. We were just talking about Lionel. And
you just gloss over the fact that the video cut off the second time.
what? No, people know. Video cuts off. I just said we're back.
Yeah.
The video just cut off.
You need to start adding commercials.
Yeah,
Yeah,
commercials.
the video just cut off because it does that automatically every 30 minutes or so. We're back. And so we were just talking about Lion-O. And literally, yesterday, me and Vanessa were sitting around, my wife, Vanessa, we were watching TV. And Lionel Richie was on. And
I wish he was just like Lionel.
and I made a joke, something about Lionel Richie. I don't even remember what I said. And she's like, "Oh, you're Lionel from like the Thundercats," and I was like, and I don't expect Vanessa to really know all the. She doesn't really pay much attention to toys or what I'm into, but I was like, "Wait, you know the Thundercats, you know Lion-O, you think his name is Lionel?" And she's like, "Isn't that his name?" I'm like, "No, it's Lion hyphen O. He's a lion man. He's Lion-O. He's not Lionel." Like.
Obviously.
You really thought of all these 80s properties. There was He-Man and Optimus Prime and Lionel. Like, she's like, whatever. I was like, yeah. I was like, wow.
You're like, it's going down.
You dumb idiot.
You should divorce her.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how cool Hot Wheels are?
Yeah, you talk about Hot Wheels. I don't give a shit about Hot Wheels, but talk about
Oh, the wheels?
Hot Wheels?
the cars.
Yeah.
The cars
I
and
know
the
what
tracks?
the Hot Wheels are, but like you're saying cool and Hot Wheels. I was like, okay.
Yeah, they're awesome. I mean, I grew up on Hot Wheels and Hot Wheel cars and creating tracks. I just love the experience of creating things out of nothing. You have a bunch of random tracks and you can now clip it onto, we had the clips that you could clip it onto like a bookshelf like 6 feet high.
Oh, yeah.
And then create like the big drops, and then you could do the loop-to-loops and the jumps, and they would have like the funnel landings and stuff like that. That was an experience that I never got from action figures. Was like the creating things like you got from Lego or Hot Wheels or Marble Works for that matter.
Marble Works again.
I'd like to talk about Fraggle Rock next episode.
The next episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. We'll save Fraggle Rock for the next episode. I appreciate that you guys were willing to like come on here. Because like...
We're drunk, that's why we're
But like literally like 2 episodes ago, I was saying something along the lines of like, you know what, the reason I do this channel is because I'm really into comics and toys and stuff, and none of my friends are really into talking about this stuff, so I do this for you people, so it's a way for me to talk about this stuff, which is true, and I appreciate everybody that watches. But some guy commented and he said something like, "I feel your pain about not having any friends to talk to," and I was like, I get it. There's probably a lot of people out there that don't have anybody to talk to, and I hope I'm a place where you feel you can come and watch. But I was like, I don't want to give the wrong impression. Like I'm this lonely loser that lives in my basement.
Do you have friends?
We're paid actors.
Yeah, I got paid money for this.
Yeah. Here's your $20. But I was saying, I do have friends, and I did mention. I replied to him. I was like, I'm fortunate that I have friends that are like mildly interested and will humor me and talking about this stuff, but they're not like really invested. So it's nice to be able to have you guys on because you're the kind of friends I'm talking about, in that like you don't love G.I. Joe or He-Man.
Contributed anything.
Sure you did.
Conversation.
Sure you did. I'm gonna edit out all that shit about Hot Wheels and stuff, but you know.
Who is a shit over Marble Blocks? I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Marble Works.
Marble Works. Yeah.
Marble Works.
Check out Marble Works. The only friend I've had on previously was Andrew, who's our mutual friend.
Good guy.
Me and Andrew did our top, I think 10 toys in our toy collections and stuff. That was a fun episode to do with Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
But Andrew's got his own podcast he does called the Boys Club. Check out Andrew Vaughn's Boys Club podcast.
He's slaying puss right now.
He's not.
Unlikely.
He's not at all. Alright, so my typical sign off is kind of a half-assed salute. I kind of say like, okay, thanks for watching. And I do one of these. I'm like, see you next time. And that's about where I would cut.
Stay safe. Coronavirus.
Yeah, stay safe from
COVID
the
2019.
Alright, cheers. Bye. Boom. Alright, done.
Cut.
That's fun.